West Michigan. This is Grand Tap Media Business TV. My name is Pamela Keim, your host. The spirit of the show is to introduce West Michigan to all the businesses, nonprofits, and leaders that can help us thrive in our community. I have a very special guest for you today. We are in the studio of WCET, but she has been on my show before, and she has pivoted during this COVID time, and she has launched out a new business. As you can see, we're having a little tea party here, and we're going to sample what she is going to be putting out, her famous Charlotte coffee cakes. So she is a former women's, I guess it's women's life, what was that, director of, kind of say?
Yeah, chapter development.
Chapter development. So I want to welcome to the show, and you probably all know her, Charlotte Touchette. And I'm excited to have you here today, and I'm excited to hear about your new endeavor. You've been talking about it since I've known you on your coffee cakes, right? And I've had some of your wonderful coffee cakes. But we're here today. We're going to be talking about her new business and how you can get her coffee cake this holiday. So welcome, and let's talk about how did this finally happen, Charlotte Touchette? You know what I mean? You are huge in our community, and I want to thank you because you've taught me so much on how to grow my business, and now I've connected with Stephanie Kolakowski here, which has launched me. But anyways, you got me into women's life and networking and all that good stuff, and now you already got the base. So what's this all about?
Oh my gosh. Well, you know how you have seasons, and when you know this is the season for my coffee
cakes.
cakes.
You were in women's life, right?
Well, yes, and I kind of retired from that, and then we had the COVID, and then all of a sudden, you know, I've had this dream since 2007, probably way before that, and we did have it out into Forest Hills schools or Forest Hills grocery store.
Right.
Oh my gosh. And back then it was called Char's Gourmet Coffee Cakes. Now we're calling it Charlotte Touchette's Gourmet Coffee Cakes.
Good idea. Good idea.
Anyways.
I just love your name. You know, I love the name. You know, Touchette.
Anyways, we had it out back then, and for some reason, I wasn't ready for it. I don't think it was God's timing.
Right.
And then. Woman's Life was 10 years long, and we created a great circle of influence here in West Michigan.
Yes, you did.
And I believe that was all God's timing. He wanted me to do that. And then all of a sudden we have our COVID, and I said, you know what, now's the time. And I prayed for clarity, and one by one, people started coming into my life that helped me to go to the next step, And actually, it's only been very short time.
3 weeks? What?
It's been very short time, and we've accomplished so much. And I know it's God's hand in it.
You have put, you know, Women's Life has helped, and then you were a Mary Kay. You know, you're one of the top people in Mary Kay when you did that. I mean, you've been very successful. You have the networking. You know how to connect with people. You know what you listen to what they need. And you know, your coffee cakes, you know, I've had a few, you know, you've given me a few of them, and they're just wonderful. So, you know, and to be able to do that, and of course being with Stephanie Kolakowski, I mean, she's going to be helping you launch this new endeavor too. So I'm excited about that. So tell me, you did that, and so you prayed on it. What did your family think? And when you said, you know, we're finally going to do it.
They always heard me doing it. They always heard me about that I was going to do it. And you know how it is. You're just wondering. And so that's why I didn't really rely on my family right yet to, you know, get me in the steps that I needed to move forward.
Right.
But anyways, they're very excited, and yes, they love it. But you know, it's been a dream in my heart probably even before then, because even as a small child,
right,
I loved being in the kitchen with my mom baking. And that was my favorite thing, is to bake. I mean, we would can and cook and all kinds of things. And you know, we're a Polish Ukrainian background, so food is like, yeah.
Well, it's comforting, and it brings families together.
Yeah. You
know, being in the kitchen is just another way for us to connect and you know, like I say, have fun.
Yes.
You know, you say it's fun.
We, as children, my mom and dad had 7 kids, and every night we would sit down for supper. and we would have our supper and talk about the day and about memories and stuff. And there would always be a little sweet at the end. Always. And so the sweet, and sometimes it was the coffee cake that my mom had made. But I remember helping her in the kitchen, and I just loved it. And I just like, wow, you know.
Yeah.
And
so what would
it just kind of stayed with me throughout the years. And then what I did was I started doing my own little special recipe. In fact, we were taking care of my mom when she was really sick. I have to share this with you. And she was sick, and you know, we were taking care of her. I mean, she was really almost.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
And
I went through that. Both my parents.
Anyways, I said, well, let's make some coffee cakes, and she even had enough energy to help us cut, because you can see that we've got little cuts in there. I mean, it's really a process putting these cakes together, and it's so much fun. But anyways, yeah, still at the very end, she helped to make the cakes. But then as years went on, I started making them more gourmet, because I felt like we need this just a little bit more butterier, a little bit more flakier, you know?
Absolutely. And you know that when we come together, we've done a lot of networking events, and what kind of food we sit down and we, you know, and I always look to see what the dessert thing is, so I know not to eat, you know, I'm not eating all that when I can have that. Well, that is something that we enjoy. So how do you decide like what flavors and what are you?
Okay, right now we are just doing the cinnamon vanilla nut flavor, but I am excited because at the first of the year we have created other flavors, but we have to have them in our test kitchen a while to make sure that everything goes together, because it's really like science. I mean, this is a science project. You have to put the right things together. You can't put too much butter, you can't put too much this, too much that. I mean, just for it to turn out right.
Well, you're in your kitchen doing this. I mean, how does it take you to how long would it take you to bake a coffee cake?
Well, we the other day we baked 30 of them.
30?
Yes, 30.
Wow.
We've done as many as 100 almost in a day, but I mean, we're not doing that yet. And of course, I'm going to be training people to do them, but my daughter and I did 30 the other day, and I mean, it took us a little longer because we had our Safe Surf girl there, or Surf Safe, Tanya was there.
Right.
And then we had our photographer there taking pictures. But I would say on that order, it would take 4 to 5 hours for the 30 cakes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you connected to other people that have, I just dropped my glasses here, have launched a similar business? I mean, are you basically just going on
let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened. So I prayed for clarity, right?
Sure.
A day or two later, I looks on Facebook, and who did I see but Jennifer Coates. You know her from Cookies by Design.
Yes.
And she is coaching people for their businesses right now.
Okay.
And I said, oh my gosh. Well, I knew her background. I knew all about Cookies by Design.
Right.
She also did create gourmet cupcakes for Cookies by Design.
Yep, I remember that.
Sold those to all the different design people. And so she was a perfect one, and she is really a sweet person. And anyway, she's the one that's coaching me, and it's a dream. I love.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. I have seen her on social media, and I know that since she sold her business, Cookies by Design, which was located in Granville, so I knew her very well. We both did. You know, she used to give us cookies at events and that we participated in. And so I was just kind of wondering, I saw her coaching, you know, that she was coaching, and I didn't realize that you were affiliated with her, but we wish her all the success. All right, so while that you've had this out for a few weeks, you know what? So what's your goals? What is your business goals on this one? Because this is going to be, you know, this is yours.
Yeah.
This has been your dream. So you know what? Have you set up what your projections are? I mean, the holidays are coming.
Yes.
Things like that.
We have. We're going to make 200 cakes to get out to the public, and that's mostly going to be my friends and relatives right now.
Sure.
But there's going to be a few businesses. Because we aren't official as far as the commercial bakery yet. So this is kind of our test run, or kind of our launch.
Okay.
And so that's what we're doing, is that 200 cakes. So
it's coffee,
we're very
it's Coffee Cakes by Charlotte Touchette. How's it go?
it's Charlotte Touchette's Gourmet Coffee Cakes.
Charlotte Touchette's Gourmet Coffee Cakes. Okay, so tell me what else, since you've been part of this. I mean, what you've been Women's Life, and we're with this pandemic too. I mean, everything's kind of changed up. How have you been? What did you do over the summer? I'm just curious because you know what, you were a huge networker, similar to I was. That was part of your life. You went to events or whatever. So how'd you fare?
I did really good. Because I started working on my home and doing certain things here and there. I was just like keeping busy,
right?
You know, and I mean, the first month maybe or 3 weeks, I was kind of like, glued to the TV, you know, like everybody else. But then I thought, you know what? I can't do that. I mean, for one thing, it really does wear on your mental attitude, you know, and so I just couldn't do that. So I just started being busy that way, and then, of course, I started launching the cakes. But I did want to add,
Please do.
This is our cakes are Spread the Love.
What does that mean? I know
that's
being
our tagline.
It's a tagline, but I remember it being part of Women's Life. So tell me what that means.
Okay, so at the end of our Women's Life, when we were doing the networking in 2020, which I think that the last time we could do something was March, wasn't it?
Well, it was the first week of March, or
yeah.
I think that was the last event.
Anyways,
we had lunch like the first week of March.
We started calling them Spread the Love events, and I just kept that tagline because we are going to spread the love through the world, but especially through West Michigan right now, one coffee cake at a time, and a percentage is going back to the charities in the community.
Oh, so you're doing similar. That's what Women's Life was kind of like. You saw the value of that.
Yeah.
You know, so you spread the love, and you did some virtual events recently with purse auction. You're still involved with that? I mean, are you still involved with the Women's Life?
We're still involved with all of that, and we will be doing all of those events. And in 2021, I'm sure that we're going to be doing the purse auction. So that's September. We've got a long time. I'm sure that that'll get launched. And so, yeah, it's all about spreading the love.
Well, you have talked about doing a networking event, a networking group, Charlotte's Angel House. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that. I know that you and I have discussed that stuff on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, my people. Oh, that's good. I mean, I'm really blessed to have a lot of friends through my last job, you know, with Women's Life.
Sure.
But, they keep asking me to do a Char's Angels networking group, but you know, we'll see what happens down the line. I mean, I do love the fact that we can use Women's Life still as a backup, because we really do benefit from them, you know,
right?
Because they will match dollars up to $500 on our events. And so, but we'll see what that's going to look like. And, you know, after we launch, do the, you know, soft launch with the coffee cakes, then we'll do something more, you know, then I'm going to decide, okay, where are these cakes going to go now? Are they going to try to get into Horrocks or specialty stores or what? You know?
Well, I think you need I was just talking to Stephanie when I saw she sent me, you know, the logo and everything that we put on her. We did an interview last week of how she was involved with some of the people that are launching new businesses. But I said to her, I'm like, Charlotte's got the coffee cake. She needs to get an apron with a logo on it, because you know we're really good friends. Yeah. And to even have you in my kitchen, just to wear in the apron with your little logo on it, you know, baking with Charlotte, you know, and I think it's kind of like a Paula Deen kind of thing. You know, there's products out there you can take it to the next level with the coffee cakes, but I think a lot of people want what you've put out in the public. You know, you have a huge you created so many Women's Life chapters. And I think it's just your personality, your warm personality, and you believing in women, and you wanting them to grow. And I think that's, you know, being part of our lives. And what you got me through the pandemic. You know that, even though you were like, girl,
you're so
girl,
sweet. You're so sweet. You're so sweet.
I know, but I you know I was struggling because we're both networkers. You lived way out in out in Timbuktu and Rockford, and I'm going, I don't even know how you handled that, but I mean, you had to be a little bit more cautious because you are older.
Yeah.
And you had to worry about your husband.
Yeah.
But he's the kind of a builder, so he had to figure out what to pivot.
Yeah.
Were you getting a lot of, just to be honest, were you getting a lot of women calling, like, Charlotte, who am I now? Everything has kind of been taken from me for this months. It wasn't weeks. It turned into months.
I know.
You know?
I know.
And I think a lot of women were struggling, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one calling you, trying to figure this out. And we weren't meeting as women. And I think that there was something to be said about getting together and feeling each other's vibe, you know, your warmth, to get through some difficult, just even venting.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I know I vented to you many, many times on the phone.
But you felt better when you got off, didn't you?
Well, yeah, and then Charlotte, I think you became rather concerned because I didn't figure out, I wasn't figuring out how, you know, the pivot. But you did jump into the virtual world faster than I did, but you did have help. And I was trying to figure out how to do all this too. But you did jump into that more with Women's Life. Yeah. They had all their meetings virtual. Mm-hmm. You were able to get, you know, how did you guys, you probably did it much faster than all of us, I think. Women's Life did.
Well, we had a couple of events that came up right smack as the COVID came.
Well, you had a big event with Erica that was on my show. She had a huge event.
That was March 18th, and we had to decide if we were going to hold it or not. 2 days we had to decide, and we didn't because, I mean, everybody was making it really scary for you to have an event.
We didn't know what to do.
No.
We didn't know what to think.
So it was virtual, and it was really successful, and then that's what we followed through was all the virtuals. Mm-hmm. And we got, I mean, we did get a lot of help. You can't do anything like that by yourself.
No.
You can't do anything alone.
Yeah.
It always takes a team.
Right, and I appreciate that, and I do go to the meetings, but that was how quickly you guys turned this around to stay connected, and then you planted your purse auction. That was the big event after COVID started. I don't think you did. You didn't do any events over the summer, did you? Besides the meetings?
I'm trying to think if we did.
I think the purse auction was your big event.
I think so.
Because we were all talking about that. All right, and you were able to get sponsors and stuff. Are you thinking of the same thing, people backing you on your business? Because you know a lot of people that, you know, sponsors and that could, even having a little bit of I would say a podcast or something similar to what I'm doing here on your, to get some of that revenue kind of brought in and get out there in the public.
Well, you know, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to be on camera, so I can do things in my kitchen and things like that. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Well, you know, we're doing a podcast starting tomorrow. We still are looking for the name of that. I hope you came up with something. I told David I was supposed to think of some names. We're starting a new podcast.
Okay.
You know, so we're able to bring that in. It's going to be at WKTV, so it'll be looking like camera, but yeah, it's going to be a podcast having our guest on that one. Steph will be from home, so we can show how this all goes. But anyways, we would love to have you on, from Charlotte's Kitchen, right? I mean, people are looking, maybe they need to get back into the kitchen. Maybe they need to get connected to women that way and bringing that, what stress, like Deb was just here, Timmerman, you know her well, and you've done a lot. We did the last purse auction to get her some money. Just to go back to what we know and go back to what we have in front of us. You and I are huge networkers, and we would look at what can we 10x, right? For me personally, I looked at Women's Life. I'm on the YMCA board, and then I was in Toastmasters, and I 10x that. The similar type would be looking at you and saying, you know, how can we help these women 10x? And the kitchen is right there, and we could do the podcast. And you run out of your kitchen. And, you know, baking with Charlotte. How would you like to bake a coffee cake today? You know, what flavor should we try? And maybe that would relieve giving back, spread the love. Is that it? You know, am I saying that right? Spread you know, showing people, you know what? Wouldn't this be a beautiful thing to have on a Sunday, to sit with your family or give to your neighbor or give to your parents? Because we're all trying to figure out what to do. Yeah. We don't know how long this is going to last. Yeah. I mean, we might be doing this until another 4 or 5 months. And we're all like this, trying to figure it out. And baking, What do you think? What do you think of that
Well,
idea?
baking is very soothing
Yes.
if you don't have to bake too many at one time.
Yeah, really.
But I think you're right, though. A lot of women had kind of got away from the kitchen a little bit.
Yeah.
And so hopefully that's one of the things that will happen is that they are getting back to the kitchen, creating some yummy dinners for their family. Although I don't have to worry about that because my husband cooks.
And you bake, right?
Yeah.
But no, you're right. And maybe we probably got away from it because we were so busy, or it wasn't. You know, you don't want to be just in the. You know what? We grew up. You don't want to be just in the kitchen, and we're not realizing how vital that is to us and how we could use that. And kind of looking at those women in the past. Oh, shut up! I like being in the kitchen. I like baking. You almost have to turn them off. And look at you. You're launching a business. Yeah. I mean, how many people are sitting there with a family recipe in their drawer, and let's bring that out, and they don't have no idea that could be the answer that they need to get them into a business similar to yourself, right? Mm-hmm. That's one thing the pandemic has done, is made us have to think, and what are we going to do with our business now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has. It's giving you room for your creative juices to get going too, because, when life is so crazy and everybody's doing things, like when I was full-time in Women's Life, it was like I always had this in the back of my mind, but I had to recruit over 300 women a year.
I know.
So, I mean, you just didn't have too much time to think about other things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I felt the same way. You were, you were a rock star for us women out there, and I'm serious. I like to compliment you because it's true, and you were one that you were very driven. I remember one time I called you and I said, Charlotte, we should meet for coffee and whatever. She's okay. Okay, so what are we going to talk about when we meet for coffee? I'm thinking, well, I don't know, maybe but you were driven. You had 300 people. You had that was your goal. And you had so many calls that you wanted to make a week and connect, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? It teaches us women, you want to have a launch of business, you need to do it.
I think I wanted to know what we were going to talk about so that I could be prepared for you, though.
Yeah, sure. I'm coming, and I'm going to take up I don't remember what day it was. It was quite funny. I hung up the phone. I'm like, well, just, what would be the reason we're getting together? Because we're friends, because I need to talk to you for a second. Oh, okay. So I guess there's a reason, All right. What are your kids? So, any of your daughters, do they bake?
Well, my daughter is baking. She is going to bake with me.
Laura?
In the cake. Yeah, Laura.
Okay.
Yeah.
Laura. Okay.
And we are right now baking in her beautiful kitchen, so that's really cool because it's so big and it's just spacious for us to do it, and then
that's kind of cool. So what is so we're going to be able to sample this baby, right?
Yes.
We're going to do that. Steph doesn't mind cutting it, right, Steph? Okay, we're going to try this out. Which flavor is it?
This is the one you're going to try.
Okay.
Yes. This flavor is our original flavor, and it's. Oh.
You made me amaretto, because I requested that.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. I think the salty caramel would be a really good one to put on the wish list. Or
yes.
They're sealed. They're sealed with love as well, right?
Yes, sealed with love.
Okay.
Did you want to cut it, or do you want me to? I think this is a good place to start.
Oh, this is yummy.
You have to.
Very good.
Oh, you can just smell it. Like it's just like the aroma of.
All right, we're going to try this baby out. Charlotte.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
All right. We got to give Charlotte has to have one here. All right. Any other questions that I forgot? Stephanie, I never look at my notes. You probably noticed that. Since you need to quiz me, this is what we need to cover, Pamela.
I think you're doing really good. I think taking the leap at, how old are you, Charlotte?
Yeah, Charlotte, taking a leap at your age.
A
leap of faith.
A woman who tells her age will tell anything.
Ain't that the truth? Well, yeah. Never asked a woman her age, her weight, or her shoe size.
Yeah, so many women or people in general, they have these dreams, they have these thoughts, they feel, and then they don't move. You know what I mean? And like you're moving, and so I think that's inspiring for someone that might be sitting there like, I've had this calling, I've had this I've had this vision of this thing that I feel I'm supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
And letting fear stop you from doing it. Like,
Did
I think
anybody
you
get her
talking
that
about
question?
that and saying
So
at
just
any
having the
age-
few, right. Well, it's never too late, and a lot of people might be sitting there and they're, you know, they're pivoting, maybe they're retiring, maybe there's something you want to do, and they've done a hobby, and they're like, you know what, I think I could probably launch it. You can launch it out small. Yeah.
Are you going to have
Yeah.
have some?
Where's, I don't know if she has a plate. Do you have a plate, dear?
Oh, there's another plate there for
All
you,
right.
girl.
And we'll have to remember napkins next
Here.
time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
So good.
Do you get, Charlotte, do you get people that request flavors? So, like, can you do a, like me, it would be a salted caramel or,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love vanilla.
I love. This one is cinnamon vanilla nut. Okay. Now, it is fresh today, so it is yummy. But if it's 1 day or 2 days, I mean, you can put it in the microwave and make it like it's fresh again.
Well, it is, of course, with any cake. I mean, you can only have it on your shelf for so long, where it has that one. Is that mine?
Yeah, so I can take the picture you guys can eat it.
Oh.
We got to make
Okay.
sure that we give them some cake.
I know it. Oh, how you like? Are you excited? I mean, how's the feeling of exhilarated? What's the
Oh,
scoop
yeah.
on that?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I wake, like this morning, I thought, oh, I've got to bring a fresh cake to them. So I got up at 5 o'clock. So
Oh my gosh! You got up at 5. Good going, Steph.
I mean, do you like them?
So good.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Your heart's full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so we are, do you see the nice golden bottom?
I'll have to do like
people love
David's
that.
word of the day. I got a lot of spit on there. Well, you want to use your camera? Where the heck is yours? Yours dead? Yeah. You have the what on the bottom? Tell me that again.
Look at how nice and golden brown it is on the bottom.
Yummy.
But that's not the,
Do you want to say to all your friends out there, Charlotte, as we eat this yummy coffee cake, gourmet coffee cake?
I would love for you to get one of the coffee cakes for Christmas and to see how you like it. But I just want to thank Pam, too, for having me on.
Absolutely.
Because
I wouldn't have survived
know
the summer without you.
I know that she's always so supportive. We try to support each other, and we're making 100 cakes. So just get your order in as soon as you can. We
Where
will
do they
probably,
go for that, dear?
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they're normally 30, but we're selling them for 25.
Where do they go to get the order?
Oh, where do they go to get the order?
Order it
Right
up.
now they have to do just call me in 616-389-3081. We are in the process of getting a website. It is not up yet for the holidays, but I mean it is starting. It's in process, so we'll see how that goes. But anyways, yeah. And then
Yeah,
and
you
we'll be
have
on
a great
Facebook.
network. You got a great many cheerleaders who are going to get out there and promote this baby, right? All right. Stephanie's job is to make sure I asked every question because you put it all together. So anything else I need to ask, my dear friend?
Nope, you did good.
Okay. All right. So we want to thank Charlotte Touchette for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, we'll have you back because we want to know how this goes. And as a I don't want to say older, but you retired twice. You retired, got out of Mary Kay, then Women's Life, and now you're moving to this. It's never too late.
It's
It's
never
a
too
dream.
late.
You had this dream since you said many, many years ago. So it's never too late. So we want to thank Charlotte Touchette. She's a dear friend of mine. And I'm so happy she has finally launched her gourmet coffee cakes. You can find them. Go to Charlotte Touchette's Facebook page, and we'll have some more information. But we want to thank everyone for being here. We'll catch you next time on Grand Tap Media Business TV. Take care, everyone.